Welcome to our second video lesson. In this lesson we're going to talk about adding mixed numbers. Oh, I don't think you can see this very well. There we go. Adding mixed numbers. And in this video, instead of writing down the examples that I do, you're going to be given a problem at the end with different numbers that you need to do in your notebook. Our first example is about adding mixed numbers. Now you remember that mixed numbers are numbers that have a whole number in the front. A whole number in the front. There's our whole number plus a fraction. So our first example is 2 1/3 plus 3 1/2. Now to do this, I'm going to rewrite it in a different way. If you think about 2 1/3, 2 1/3 really can be written as, I'm going to change my color, 2 plus 1/3. And the same with 3 1/2. 3 1/2 can be written as 3 plus 1/2. Now if you remember the commutative property of addition, it means that we can rewrite this equation in a different order and still get the same answer. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to rearrange it so that we have the whole numbers at the beginning followed by the fractions. So I'm going to write 2 plus 3. So move this 3 over here. Plus 1/3 plus 1/2. The next part's pretty easy. We know that 2 plus 3 is 5. And then 1/3 plus 1/2 is like the problems we were doing yesterday with adding fractions with unlike denominators. So we're going to follow our steps. The first step is to find the least common denominator. So we need to write out the multiples, not the fractions, the multiples of 3 and 2. Here's 3 and here's 2. Multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12. And the multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8. Now I'm going to stop there because I see your answer. It's 6. So now we need to write 1/3 and 1/2 as fractions out of 6. So if you have 1/3 and you want to make it into something, not 1, something over 6. You think about, what do I do to 3 to make it into 6? Multiply it by 2. Whenever we do the denominator, we have to also do the numerator. So we're going to multiply 1 times 2. And 1 times 2 gives us 2. So there's one of our fractions. The next one, 1/2. To get from 2 to 6, you multiply by 3. So whatever we do to the bottom, we also have to do the top, times 3. 1 times 3 gives 3. Here's your second fraction. So now we go back to our equation. Write out equals 5 plus, and then replace the 1/3 with 2 6 plus 3 6. And then we get to go with P because it's super easy. Out of 6. The denominators are the same, so we just add the numerators. 2 plus 3 is 5. So our answer is 5 and 5 6. And then to make it easy for me, when I go back, I'm going to circle it to make the answer really obvious. Now it's your turn. You're going to try it in your notebook. In your notebook, you are going to do, let me get a new color here. You're going to do 8 1/4 plus 6 1/2. So you can pause the video now and try doing this question with the answer on it. Pause it right now. Welcome back. For your answer to the question that you tried, you should have gotten 14 and 3/4. If you didn't get 14 and 3/4, look back through it again and try and figure out where you went wrong. If you can't find where you went wrong, you could ask a friend or raise your hand and ask me. We're going to move on to the next example. So this is one situation of adding mixed numbers. There's another situation where you get a different answer. Again, you don't need to write this down. There'll be another question afterwards. So this is a mother cat weighs 14 and 5, oh, I should be writing in black, and 5/8 pounds. Her kitten weighs 1.5 pounds. How much do they weigh when they're together? So to do this, we're going to add together the weights of the mom and the kitten. So we have 14 and 5/8 plus 1.5. Okay, we're going to do it just like we did in the other example, where we then write out 14 plus 5/8 plus 1 plus 1/2. Now we're going to rearrange it so that we have all the whole numbers together and all the fractions together. We have 14 plus 1 plus 5/8 plus 1/2. Then we're going to simplify it. So 14 plus 1 is 15. And then we have 5/8 plus 1/2. Well, we know how to do this, so let's find our LCD, least common denominator, of 8 and 2. We have 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, and I'm going to stop there. And then 8, and the first one is 8, and yay, we are done. Our least common denominator is 8. So now we need to write 5/8. 5/8 is already something over 8, so we're done. Then we need to write 1/2 is something over 8. So 1/2 is something over 8. What times 2 gives 8? Another way you can think about it is 8 divided by 2 is what? It's going to be times 4. Whatever we do the denominator, we also have to do the numerator. So we have 1 times 4, and 1 times 4 is 4. Now we're done. And we can replace them back in our equation. 15 plus 5/8 plus 4/8. Well, now it's just adding fractions with like denominators. 5 plus 4 is 9/8. Okay, what's different about this fraction that wasn't different or wasn't the same, wasn't that way for the last example? If you can see it, it's because it's an improper fraction, so we need to simplify it again. So, how do we simplify improper fractions? We're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. So 9 divided by 8. 8 goes into 9 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. So we have 1 remainder 1. And that written as a fraction gives 15 plus 1 over 8. You take the remainder and you put that over the denominator. Now 15 plus 1 is 16 and 1/8. Am I done though? Hopefully you all said no. A word question, you need to give a word answer. So I'm going to write they weigh 16 and 1/8 pounds. Now it's your turn to try an example. The question's on the next slide. So what you can do is, if you need to, after you've written the question down in your notebook, you could rewind the video to this page so you can see the steps. Try it on your own first and see if you can do it without looking at the examples. Okay, here's the question you're going to try. You play 12 3/4 minutes during the first half of a soccer game. Then you play 8 3/6 It's really hard to see. I'm going to erase that by writing it again. Minutes during the second half of the game. How many minutes do you play in total? Try it right now. If you need to, again, you can rewind to the slide before. When you've tried it, you should get the answer 21. Oh, that's not on right. 21 1/4 minutes. If you don't get that answer, go back and look at it again yourself. If you can't find your mistake, ask a friend, and then come see me if you still can't find the mistake. And now you're done. So for the rest of the class, you have the time to work on your homework and ask me questions if you need some help. Make sure that you have the 2 you try it yourselves written down. I'll be checking to see that you've got them done. Hope you enjoyed the video.